Hey there, welcome back to Sea Power and welcome to Hypersonic Weaponry. This is the B-52H. It is added by the Hypersonic missile mod that I have linked down below. It's the AGM-183. Now these are sizable missiles, you can see them right down below the wingtips, and this B-52 can only carry 3. They're that heavy. So we got one here, one there, and one in the bomb bay. What's so special about these things? They're not that big. They're not that intimidating looking. What's the problem? Well, they're hypersonic, which means they are ridiculously quick. This is the AGM-183 ARRW, air-launched ballistic missile, and it is capable to get up to 10,648 knots. Now, by contrast, most Soviet missiles are around 1,600 to 900 knots, so this thing is about 5 times faster. And this air-launched rapid response weapon, short ARRW, is a hypersonic assisted glide weapon, a whole lot of gliding going on, developed by the United States Air Force. You can see that not only do they have a very high amount of speed, they also got a much better range than some of the Soviet gear. 1,375 nautical miles. This range can be explained simply by the fact that this thing is, well, from a sea power perspective, way from the future. And that gives it quite the edge. Now over here, 7001 is getting picked up by my E3A, is a Kirov. I selected a Kirov as my test subject because a Kirov typically is very capable of defending itself. Let's see how capable it is. We're going to send 4 missiles. There's 1, 2. Of course, I don't have 4. I only got 3. But off we go. Now, this missile is going to first go to pretty much the edge of the atmosphere. Or at least what sea power considers the edge of the atmosphere. And that is about 99,000 feet. So this thing probably is going to be very detectable on radar. Very detectable. That doesn't mean you will be able to do much about it. Because up here, good luck getting a missile to go this high. That's 1. And 2, what do you have that can intercept something doing 10,648 knots? At this speed, I don't think any interceptor missile is going to come close. So you can see that this missile is already very difficult to intercept. You might see it. You might see Soviet missiles as well, and that will give you an edge, because if they're skimming high or if they're flying high, you'll be able to intercept them. These things, not as much. These arrows are very deadly. We are currently approaching this thing at 10,650 knots, so it's 80 miles, 76, 73... And keep in mind, a Kirov is typically very capable of defending itself against pretty much whatever sort of missile strike you send after it. Sure enough, they can get overwhelmed, yeah. If you send enough missiles, any ship will not be able to stop all of them. And that's when it ends. But this is just 3. But look at their descent. I'm going to just put this at 0.2. They're coming down almost vertically. Almost vertically. We have hit the track with 1 arrow. The second arrow has been intercepted, so they can do it. But look at the devastation to this Kirov. And there's the next. Shockwaves emanating off of that thing. What's the damage? Because she hasn't been destroyed. She's still out there. She has not been destroyed. What's the damage? Well, it's actually not as bad. In this case, I think all missiles impacted amidships, which means that they have a pretty bad fire going, and they probably got all their sensors wrecked. But they're still there. Their weapon magazines have been damaged, but not beyond repair. They have a couple of missile launchers that are struggling, but not beyond repair. And I think that this... No, actually it died. I'm not sure why. Maybe the fire got out of control? Because the flooding's still moderate and the hull damage is still slight. I'm not sure why this thing died. I don't really know. Now let's have a look at this from the perspective of the Kirov. Can we see these things approach? And question 2, can we stop them? We're now the Kirov. I'm going to say I am not operating under MCON, and I actually have my air search, surface search, active sonar for all I care on. At this point, I can see that there is a B-52. This B-52 already has its radar on. Now, it supposedly carries the Infinity something. What is that? This one? I guess. Yeah, that's primarily used by the FA-18. Okay. The interesting thing is it's not launching. Oh. Because this guy doesn't have their search on. They first have to identify me, at which point they'll probably start to nuke me with those weapons. They do have a minimum arming range of 32. I'm not sure if it works if I keep going back and forth. Let's say I'm going to engage. Salvo 4. There's 1, 2, 3. At this point I can't see the missiles. Makes sense, they're too small. They cannot be detected yet. But when can they be detected? And is there any defense against them? Because I'm thinking there might very well not be. These things might be coming in too fast. And, well, at 10,000 knots, I mean, they're giving you very, very, very little time to respond. I can't see the missiles anymore. They've left this aircraft a while ago. Where are they? I'm thinking I don't want to go at too fast time acceleration, because the moment that I go to times 5 or 10, I'll be dead. Also, I'm not sure if this air search can actually pick them up, because look at... Let's see, actually, Kirov. You got a top steer, which can go up to 98,000 feet. Oh, they're here. I picked them up at about 6 miles. 6 miles, and they're already on the kill track. At this point, we first have to ready the missile launcher, which is going to take me, for the SAN-4, another 13 seconds. I don't have 13 seconds. I don't have that. The Grumbles might be ready, because we're opening hatches. And I believe that that's there. Let's run it very slowly. Ooh, that's not very slowly. Good lord. That was painful. We actually tried to get a missile off, but we got hit twice. Damage report? Yeah. At this point, I am pretty defenseless because most of my search radars, and probably my targeting radars too, have been destroyed. The rest of the weapon systems here took, I think, some damage from the shockwave. Might be repairable, but my crew is a little busy trying not to lose the whole ship. So it's likely that we'll not be able to deal with that fire in time, let alone repair any of the other systems before they burn up. The engine's been completely destroyed. Supposedly you can still kind of survive that. There we go, heavy flooding, and she's dead. Yep, that's how powerful these things are. Now, is there any way to jam these, I wonder? Can these missiles be stopped? No, they're active radar homing. They're active radar homing. What happens if I overwhelm them with some electronic countermeasures? For this next trial, I set up a KO-45E. This is an electronic warfare bird, and I'm going to have this thing jam. I don't know how well it can jam those missiles. I don't know, well, how high that jammer goes. There's no information about it. All I know is that we have ECM running. So let's have the ECM go there, and I'm gonna have the plane just go in sort of circles and make sure it still kind of jams in that general direction. The B-52 is going to once again throw their deadly, deadly arrows in my general direction. There's 1, 2, and 3. Of course, at this point, they can kind of bug off, because the B-52 doesn't really have any reason to still be here. I want to see if those missiles will actually have any kind of interference, because they're supposedly active radar guided. I just don't know if this jammer's going to do anything about that. Also, I don't know if this jammer's at the right altitude to actually be effective. But we'll see about all of that. Oh. We picked them up at 45 miles now. 41. That's quite far, but keep in mind, it is already descending. And this is 41 miles. Is it really? Yes. It's actually 41 miles. It doesn't look like 41 miles to me. But okay. Keep in mind, they're still at 37,000 feet. Now they're at 33,000. And according to this, even though the jammer doesn't quite have the range, they are getting jammed. So I think the game is not really treating these weapons as it should. But hey, they're getting jammed. Let's see if it's enough. I'm going to run it very, very, very slowly. I still don't think the Kirov is going to have enough time to actually respond. I also don't know if my Sea-Wiz is able to arc high enough. I'm running this at 0.2 times speed. We got a missile off. And we got hit. Yeah, that missile is already here. It's already here. You got absolutely no time to launch anything, let alone use your Sea-Wiz. And those missiles, as far as I'm concerned, did not really seem to get jammed a whole lot. I mean, yes, they were jammed, but really? There we go. Flight deck damaged. Considering what happened to the stern, I'm surprised the flight deck's still there. Most of the stern's been destroyed. We still have propulsion, which is great, but we don't have an engine to use that. And most likely the Kirov will be gone in a few minutes. Yep, she's gone. So, are these things a bit overpowered? Yeah, I would argue they're a bit overpowered. They are, especially for the ARRW power, too strong. And they are going to be a bit of a delete button. It's just, you send, maybe even just send one after a target. And it's going to go, haha, you can't stop me, dead. If you fire up some other mods, maybe like NTU, maybe you can stop these weapons. But of course, I'm not going to be sitting here testing every possible combination of weapons, because then this video would last a little bit too long. Now, let me know what your thoughts are below. Is this something you want in the game? If so, hit the subscribe button on the Steam page. The link to the Steam page there is down below in the description. If you do want to use these in a scenario, let me know what sort, because I'd be interested to potentially play that and see if I can survive. But based on the testing here, I don't really think my chances are going to be that good. Thank you for watching. I hope to see your thoughts down below, and let me know what other mods you'd like me to cover.